Hi, I'm Mandy Newell. Welcome back to Cherry Chat. We've just had the UNESCO International Arts Education Week, so I've decided to interview a few industry professionals to find out from them whether they think that the arts is a viable, obviously why they think arts is a viable career option, and whether they think it should be taught in schools. I'm sitting here today with Jonathan Roxmouth. Jonathan is the lead in the current internationally touring musical Evita. Jonathan, hi, thank you for joining me today.
Great pleasure, thank you for having me.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into musical theatre? Did you always know this was something that you wanted to do?
I think I have a slightly cliche story. I grew up knowing that I wanted to be on stage. I didn't necessarily have the resources to study it, so I had to start cold and learn on the job as this education. But I was lucky enough to go to Robin Hills Primary School in Johannesburg and Northcliffe High School in Johannesburg. And both of those schools, when I was there, were very, very focused on promoting the arts in the same way they promote rugby. So we had a visionary principal called Mr. David Clay, and his whole mantra was, well, if the rugby boys can go on tour, then so should the drama boys. And what this meant is, for 5 years, they would tour us down to the Natal Playhouse and put on a musical as if we were a professional company. And this meant that by the time I matriculated, I had 5 shows under my belt, in essence, where I'd learned how a theatre worked, how backstage worked, what the etiquette was backstage, what you must do, warm-ups, all of those basic things, before I was in a position to go to a college where it would be taught in script. So I had the edge in that. I'd done it five years because of a wonderful man in a government school. It wasn't a private institution by any means, but he saw the need for that, and he recognised the arts the same way he recognised academics and sport. He was a very well-rounded principal in that respect, so I was very fortunate.
I really like that. I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because this is what we want to do. We want to promote arts in schools, especially in South Africa. I believe there are over 10,600 high schools in South Africa, and less than 6 or 7% actually offer cultural subjects. Yeah.
So I think what's been very apparent to me in terms of being in musical theatre is the edge that it provides us is it can't be replaced by machinery or tech or programs or anything like that. It's still a handmade enterprise. So from that point of view, I think it's more and more important to hunt it as something worth pursuing the same way people would do with medicine or law or accounting or those things that all our parents have been used to fall back on.
Yeah.
And I think if government would get behind perhaps helping the young artists, up-and-coming artists, understand the business of show business, that would be the better first step as opposed to bursaries to study the form. I think they should help us understand how to survive financially in the form first.
Because it is a business.
It is a business. I think government could step in even further, or arts associations, to show them where they could fit in. The American Theatre Wing does a lot in that respect, and even takes kids to see their first Broadway shows. Now, if I think of government theatres that have plenty of content in them, during The Lion King, for instance, one of Telkom's big initiatives was to bus kids in once a week for the 9-month run of The Lion King, once a week. That is 9, 14, it's 36 times. A busload of children were brought in to see theatre for the first time. Not just any theatre, The Lion King, something that's uniquely African, American in creation, but African in execution. And that was an amazing initiative, and those kids, some of those kids are working today because they were taken to see The Lion King. So I think it has to do with, it's all very well talking about it, but you have to show them as well.
Yes, we need to inspire.
Exactly, and I think if government is putting in things in government institutions like sports associations, soccer games, that sort of thing, I don't see why they shouldn't do it if government theatres have content as well, equally as inspiring. If they aren't necessarily too keen on having a dance class, get a networking class. What does networking mean? Everyone has that cell phone. The cell phone is how you build your brand first. Teach them how to use that. If they're too scared to say, yes, we have an arts course, have a branding course, have a financial planning course, have a marketing course. Those are far more important at grassroots level because to teach the kids how to sing and dance, with YouTube, kids can do that on their own. But those practical things, what do you do in an audition? What do you do when you don't get the job? Most importantly, what do you do when you get the job? Those should be taught. That's far more important. The times have changed to such a degree that the things that our parents went to college to learn in terms of the arts, it's taken as a given these days. It's all those other skills that are never spoken about, that are never taught in, quite frankly, dinosaur courses that are still offered today. Those aren't relevant. Our world has changed. Therefore, so have our actors, our singers, our dancers.
Wow. Jonathan, thank you so much for your time today. That was incredible and valuable information. I really appreciate that. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. And
we have to change the way we think about arts education. Yeah. It's no longer about, all right, let's teach the kids how to sing, act, and dance. That's a given. We watch our television, Glee, Smash, all those programs have made the concept of performing part of our daily routine. Kids are doing videos of themselves singing all the time, therefore they can sing. We don't worry. How they make it pay should be our worry, because that makes it sustainable.
Talent is there, and how do they manage that?
Precisely. We need talent management, we don't need talent development.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It was really good, very interesting, very informative. And have a great show tonight. We are in Hong Kong, by the way.
Literally on my way to the theatre.
I caught it. So when you said we were overseas, so I was just saying, yes, we are in Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
Great pleasure.
And I'll see you guys back in South Africa soon.